The Rhode Island Rams are off to a hot start after winning 2 straight games by 40 points or more. And head coach Tammy Reese, she is not surprised. I talked to her before the start of the season, and she told me this is her dream team. It was a big day in Providence as the Friars took on Georgetown, who was led by none other than former PC head coach Ed Cooley. The 2024 Major League Baseball season is officially here. It's opening day across the league, and the Red Sox are beginning their campaign on the road in Seattle. The Sox have a 3-road series before their home opener at Fenway Park on Tuesday, April 9th. Providence College just announced that basketball star Bryce Hopkins has suffered a season-ending injury. There were high hopes for Hopkins this season. He was one of 5 finalists for the 2023 Karl Malone Award and was named first team All-Big East in the preseason. It was senior day here in Kingston for the Rhode Island Rams, and this senior day was a little extra special. It involved 15 athletes, and they've acquired nearly 30 wins over the past 4 years. Patriots long snapper Joe Cardona has been named the 2023 Salute to Service Award recipient by USAA. Cardona started his service at the U.S. Naval Academy in 2011 and since then has climbed the ranks in both the NFL and Navy while showing continued support to active duty members, their families, and veterans.
The more my career progresses, it's just a point of pride that I get to involve, my teammates and the greater New England area and shed a little bit more light on not my service, but those that are serving, actively serving deployed and the veterans out there.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said, quote, his commitment to honoring, empowering, and connecting with the military community as an active service member while also dedicated to his Patriots teammates truly sets him apart. He is the true embodiment of what it means to be an American hero. The NFL and USAA have teamed up to donate $50,000 to a charity of Cardona's choice. It's been all Questenberry on the other side. How do you contain him in the second half?
Hey, we knew he's going to get a lot of touches, a lot of opportunities to score.
You guys have had the lead throughout the whole first half. This team has struggled in the second half throughout the season. What's the message going to be heading into the second half?
We'll come out, just play confident and play together.
Like you said, a week off. They play Marquette on Wednesday. A great team. They have Tyler Kolek, who is a Rhode Island native, great player in the Big East. They won the first time. It was their Big East opener at home. They won 72-57, so it was a huge win by a big margin. What do they need to do this time around on the road now to beat Marquette?
I think they need to remember what they did well.
School is back in session. The Patriots returning to Foxborough, and right now the focus is strength and conditioning, but the players are happy to be back under some new leadership. The Friars remain dominant at the AMP at what many called the Blizzard game on Tuesday. They beat St. John's 75-72. And this game was former Providence head coach Rick Pitino's homecoming. The game started in Providence's favor with the Friars leading the Johnnies 28-15 at the 9-minute mark. Coming up big was Richard Barron, who got hot after Ticket Gaines was injured after the very first play. But Ticket Gaines, showing his grit, he came back into the game with a gash both on his lip and his eyebrow. And head coach Kim English was impressed by his strength. In Dayton, they have none other than co-player of the year and defensive player of the year, Deron Holmes II. Kobe Bray was also named 6th man of the year. You talk about the hardship and just, again, we talked about this yesterday, but having those players truly talk about brotherhood and fighting for each other. Do you think that was a part of this win?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. I think our guys realize, what they've been throughout.
21 points, 8 for 10 shooting, and 9 rebounds. With those stats, it was a fight for Garrett Johnson to get his first collegiate win against Stonehill, but the real fight was off the court.
It was definitely tough to wrap my head around, that this was going to be my life now. So yeah, I didn't necessarily know the long journey I had ahead. I didn't know what was in store, but yeah, it was a big change in my perspective.
George Washington's own Garrett Johnson had discovered at just 19 years old that he had an aggressive desmoid tumor in his left hip. After multiple doctors trying different methods, he started to question if he would ever step on the court again. That was until he found Dr. Avutu.
It was just really gave me a lot of confidence hearing him talk about it like that, because at that point it had been a year and a half of doing different things and nothing had worked yet. He followed through. He delivered on his word, and we started chemotherapy treatment, and it worked.
After 9 rounds of chemotherapy, 4 surgeries, and having to leave the Princeton basketball program to focus on his health, Garrett Johnson was finally ready to get back on the court, and it was Coach Caputo who gave him the opportunity.
He was willing to take a chance on me. I mean, they came and saw me work out while I was still on chemo, and they actually had me come to campus the day after one of my chemo sessions and had me work out. I did well, and they gave me a scholarship that day.
There was a belief that he was certainly a good enough player, to make an impact here and make an impact early on. Obviously we did our research on the medical piece, but ultimately, what I told him is like, look, we believe in you.
And of course, it's a coach's job to teach his players, but Coach Caputo says he can learn a few things from Garrett Johnson.
Yeah, and I just think we marvel at him. If you have your health, you really have a lot, and you have the ability to affect change. And so, for me, he draws, it's a lot of inspiration that is drawn from his journey.
And this is just the beginning of Garrett Johnson's story. This week, he earned Rookie of the Week after leading the conference in field goal percentage, being 3rd in 3-point percentage, 7th in rebounding, and 9th in scoring.